Hi everybody, my name is Cade and I wanted to do a video today on the process of me starting HRT. I'm almost 1 month on testosterone now, and I just wanted to give you guys kind of a run through of what my doctor's visits and stuff have looked like up until this point. I am in Tucson, Arizona, so I know there's differences between different states. Your process and my process might be different, but just want to give you guys kind of an overview. I chose to set up my doctor and appointments with Rio, which is like a health clinic here in Tucson. So I had finally gotten health insurance, and I knew that it was going to be active on June 1st. So I had called and set up an appointment for as close to that date as I could, and I got an appointment June 10th. When I made my appointment, I requested Dr. Ochoa just from previous references and what my therapist and stuff had mentioned to me. But at the first appointment on the 10th, I was setting up initial care also because I didn't have a primary care doctor. So it was kind of getting my general health information, family history, and asking if there was any previous health concerns or anything. Dr. Ochoa asked me about being trans. I don't know what I was really expecting her to ask since I was coming in requesting hormone replacement therapy, but she asked me when I had come out, how long I was identifying as trans, if I had support, if my family knew, and she had asked if I wanted to have my own children, in the case of if I wanted to do egg harvesting or if I wanted to actually carry my own child, which testosterone would kind of mess that up or put a damper on things. And then she had also asked me what I wanted from testosterone. Pretty sure I just said that I wanted a more masculine face and body and a deeper voice and no acne, please, but I know that can't happen. And then she had explained that some of the changes on testosterone are permanent. Some of them, if you stop testosterone, might revert back or not be as prominent of features. And she gave me a packet which was informed consent and just general health and all of the information for doing testosterone hormone replacement therapy, for me to go over and then bring back to our next visit. And then she also requested an ass ton of labs be done. So they since I had never gone and I hadn't had blood work done in a while, they had all of the usual labs done, and then I'm pretty sure there's specific labs that were checking hormones and things I want to say my liver and different things like that. I hope you guys can't hear or aren't bothered too much by my dogs running around and playing and in the window constantly over there. So a week later, on June 17th, I went back into El Rio in the morning, fasted, to do all my blood draw for my labs. The staff was really nice when I went in, and they told me I had to do 7 vials of blood, which I was not excited about, and it's only my second time having blood drawn, period. I mean, it was a little uncomfortable, but it wasn't painful. And then once it was done, I was immediately on fire and just dripping sweat. I could feel it running all down my body, and that was freaky. And then my vision was kind of spotty and kind of fading and stuff, so they were just told me to stay seated and gave me an alcohol wipe to huff, which was fucking awesome, because it makes it so you don't pass out essentially. And then they gave me a Reese's peanut butter cup, which was not vegan, and they apologized, but I ate it, and pulled the trash can over so I could have a foot rest and just chill. So I just chilled there for what seemed maybe a half hour. I felt kind of like a pussy about it, but the staff was nice, and when they would walk by, they'd make sure I was okay and encourage me just to wait until I felt okay to get up. After getting my blood drawn, I went and did the urine sample, and then my next appointment was going to be on the 24th of June. Before my appointment, I finished reading the consent packet information and signed all that pretty much. There was only one thing in the packet that I was that like caught me off guard, because most of it I already kind of knew from research and like videos and whatever, can cause liver damage. And I mean, it makes sense. At my second appointment, Dr. Ochoa went over my lab results, which were all pretty normal. Everything was in the proper ranges. And she did mention my red blood cell count was normal, but on the lower end, which apparently is good in this case, because when you take testosterone, your red blood cell count increases and your blood gets thicker. I mean, if you want to get crazy, it can cause like stroke or like heart attack, but you're only at the same amount of risk that the average cis male is. But doing all the labs was like just to get a base reading on everything, make sure nothing was out of the ordinary, and just kind of have like my base levels so that when I'm starting T and do blood work, they can see like if things are elevating too much or if things are dropping too much. She also asked if I had any questions on the consent paperwork and if I had it. So I did bring up the liver damage question. She told me that the liver damage, that phrase is kind of like a cover your ass thing, because yes, it could cause liver damage, but doing the blood work consistently, we would be able to see if there was any like danger signs or like red flags like with my liver and like different levels before it got to a point of actually causing damage. But after she answered my questions on the consent paperwork and everything, she took that and said that we were all set to start testosterone and that I could get my first injection that day. Then I had asked if I could do subcutaneous versus intramuscular injections, because I am a weenie and I do not want to stab myself, and I really don't want to stab myself with a really long ass fat ass needle. So I asked for sub-Q, and I'm really glad that I did. She didn't care, and put in the prescription for testosterone and like syringes and everything. The injections really aren't that bad, and I was okay with doing them as kind of like a default. I had also talked about other methods of testosterone with the doctor, like patches or gels, as an alternative to doing injections. They have a high rate of transferring to like others. So like my wife or my like dog would have elevated testosterone levels if I was taking gel or patches. Now I have to do a potty break for my dog before she gets ridiculous, and I'm in my underwear. After I got my prescription and everything, I went back upstairs and I was seen by Nurse Yvonne, and she's super cool and I like love her, and I always want to, every time that I've like gone back since then, I've seen her. She took me into a room and then showed me the testosterone and all of the like different like needles and syringes and stuff, and then had me do my first shot, and it was awesome, and it was painless pretty much. It was like a 0.5 on a 1 to 10 scale, and it only took a couple minutes, and then that was it, and then I was done. When I called to set up my first appointment, it was probably like a week and a half, 2 weeks out to my first appointment, which was on the 10th of June. Got my blood work the 17th, got my first dose of tea on the 24th. And that was pretty awesome. And then so each of the visits was only $20 for my copay, and the tea was like $4, and then it was like $10 for the syringes and stuff for like a couple, and needles. And I just actually got a bill for the lab work, which was like $30. Today's the 19th of July, and on Monday will be 4 weeks that I've been on testosterone, and it's been awesome, and I'm excited to do like more videos and like talk more about stuff. Probably do a 1 month update, because like, come on, it's like only gonna happen once. But yeah, so keep an eye out for those, and thank you for watching, and like and subscribe, and if you have questions about anything, please just always comment. If I can and do have the answer, I will definitely share it with all of y'all.